Hello, today we remember the death in 1997 of Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor who became an eminent psychologist, wrote some 39 books, the best known of which is Man's Search for Meaning, based on his experience in the Nazi camps. He developed a theory called logotherapy, which is seen alongside the work of Jung and Freud as being among Germany's greatest contributions to the understanding of how human beings work. And one of the things that he wrote struck me as particularly interesting and helpful. He said, between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is power to choose our response. And in our response lies our growth and our freedom. This was an idea which emerged while he was in the camps, because they had practically no freedom, but they did have the freedom to make that choice in small and larger matters between what was a stimulus that was coming at them and the way they reacted to it. And of course this is true of all of us all the time. Things are making us have different feelings. People say things that annoy us or encourage us. We have experiences which delight us or frustrate us. We get caught in a traffic jam, or we see something beautiful. We have all the time things stimulating us from our surroundings and from the people that we're with. And we have the choice as to how we react to those things. And the idea that there is always that space between what stimulates us and how we respond it is, I find, very helpful. And trying to widen that space and give it more room so that we've got more opportunity to think about how we're going to respond, I think is a helpful way of looking at our lives, something I'm not particularly good at and would hope to learn from Viktor Frankl. Because if we can perhaps just take ordinary experiences, like, say, a traffic jam, and before we get cross, just stop and allow the space between the stimulus and our response to enable us to reflect on how we would like to respond to the stimulus, or if someone is being particularly frustrating in the conversation, or we're feeling exasperated about something, to allow ourselves to pause and make a space between experiencing that frustration and how we react to it. And in that way, we're exercising our freedom, but we're also allowing ourselves to grow. We're allowing ourselves not to be just carried along on a tide of emotions and random thoughts, but to be in control of how we're thinking and what we're feeling to some extent. And that is a sign of growth and a sign of adulthood, and something that I think is worth us all moving towards. And so, thank you, Viktor Frankl. The experience in the concentration camps must have been a terrible experience, but coming out of it is this now commonly held view in psychological circles that this space between stimulus and response is really important for us, and one I think it would be helpful to us to recognise and to use.